Today we're talking about the Swedish word lagom, which doesn't really have an equivalent word in English, but is quickly taking over from hygge as like the quintessential Scandinavian way of life type of word.
Yeah, they don't mean the same thing, but we're gonna tell you what it means and how it can really change your life once you understand what this Scandinavian philosophy means. So hang on.
The Swedish word lagom kind of means not too much, not too little, but just the right amount.
Yeah, and it really applies to so many different areas of your life. It could be like food, it could be things, it could be so many things, and we'll get into that.
Full disclosure, I did not know what lagom was until maybe like a year ago, and it's not something that I grew up with. I'm not Swedish, I'm Icelandic, you're Danish. Maybe together we're Swedish? No.
I don't think so. Sweden did used to belong to Denmark. We used to own them, just like we used to own Iceland.
Are we going there though?
But then they all used to own us as well, so who cares?
Well, Iceland never used to own anybody. We're just like, we want to live in peace with everybody. Except for when we're Vikings. And then we
you went everywhere.
We
Okay,
digress.
but it is part of our Scandinavian mentality to think this way of not wanting things, like too much of things or too little of things, but being okay with the medium.
Yeah, finding joy in the journey and not filling your life with like just random stuff that you don't necessarily need.
So, lagom, what examples can we bring in? Food is the first thing I thought of.
Well, food I think is also where it kind of became a thing for the Swedes.
Yeah.
It's very much used in the context of like, how much food do you want? Or
Just a lagom portion.
Yeah. Or you know, the spiciness or saltiness of the food. You just want the just the right amount.
How much like sugar do you want? Like, do you go completely like no sugar, I cut off everything, or do you say like, oh, I'll want a little bit, but I don't want to go overboard?
Yeah, and I think that is something that again applies to other areas of life. You know, you don't have to be perfect. If you get just the right amount, then you've got enough sugar to be happy, but not enough to give you diabetes.
Exactly.
And so like if we apply that to other areas in life, like physical stuff, then you want to be happy, but you don't want to get stuff diabetes.
Wow. So you can see that when you look at the Scandinavian style. Like the Scandinavian decoration style is a lot more minimal. So you have less things around and smaller pieces of furniture. And I think it's the same thing. Like you want to fill your home so it feels comfortable and nice, but you don't want to stuff it. So yeah.
And I think you can also take it too far in the other direction, you know, with like just having the best of everything, but only the best of everything and very few other things in your house. Like that's not lagom either.
No, it shouldn't feel cold either. It
No.
should feel nice. Another area where this applies is work-life balance. So this is where Scandinavia really applies the lagom train of thought really well.
Yeah, it shines through in the way that I think the work week is scheduled in a lot of Scandinavia.
Yeah, like a full-time job is 37 hours. Whereas other places in the world, I know it's more. Also, our vacation, we get paid vacation. 5 weeks is by law required that you have. A lot of places, they have more. So I have 7 weeks of paid vacation, and so do you, right?
Yeah.
Because it's really important that we are able to be at work when we're at work and at home when we're at home.
Yeah.
Work and do a good job, perform, but also perform at home.
Yeah.
That balance, like the right amount of work to provide and contribute to society, but also to provide and contribute to your family.
Another example is screen time. I think, you know, and when it comes to philosophies behind raising your kids and how much screen time you allow your kids, or anything else that, you know, you're kind of wondering about, hey, do I let my kids do this or not? I think lagom works very well, and that's kind of the approach that we take. We don't ban screens. The kids are going to be using them at school and in life. And so if we just like cut them out and then throw them in the deep end of the pool when the time comes, I don't think that's going to do them any favors. I think we try to take a very lagom approach.
Yeah, and I think also like when you talk to other parents or in like parent and chat groups, that's something that gets really heated is like the right amount of screen time, what it is. So if you can just say, oh, the lagom amount, then you're covered. And everyone has like, oh yeah, I agree. I think we can all agree on the lagom amount of screen time is the right amount.
Just the right amount is just the right amount.
Exactly. What's an area of your life where you could really see applying lagom would make a difference or would really like get you to think of things in a different way. Let us know in the comments below.
And we're not quite done with this video, but after we're done, maybe have a look around our channel and see if you like what you see. And if you do, then please hit the subscribe button and follow us along in the future.
We make videos every week, and we're sure we're gonna make something that you're gonna like.
Are we?
Yeah.
What if this video is just recommended by some like Swedish cooking channel?
Okay, so we make videos about parenting and about organizing and living a productive and happy life with young kids and how that looks. So if that's your thing, then I'm sure you're gonna find something you like.
And if you like this video.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up button.
We've talked about a few examples of how you can apply the idea of lagom in your life. I think it's worth noting that this is very much a generational thing. I think the idea of just the right amount here in Scandinavia is you know, it sits more deeply rooted in the older generation, and for the younger generation it's not as frowned upon to like go to the extremes and to stick out, and I think that's just, you know, a function of how society is changing. In America, maybe it's the other way around. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. Like when I was young, pre-marriage, like I would talk to my friends about what their like hobbies were, and it was like, oh, snowboarding and shooting and boating and skydiving, and I'm like, oh, mine is hanging out with friends, dancing and baking. So I think in the Scandinavian society we are more subdued, and we always have been, and there's this thing called janteloven that just tells us like, hey, you're all equal, you're all the same, don't try and stick out too much. And that's something that's
very un-American.
Very un-American, yeah. And it's very Scandinavian, for good and for bad. The janteloven is also about to go away. It goes away more and more with every generation, I feel.
Yeah. So I guess the point is, regardless of where you're watching this from and how you're, like, what the makeup of your society is and the culture that you live in, you can take the idea of lagom and apply it, whether that means, you know, dialing things up a little bit or dialing things down. I think something to keep in mind is when you're going lagom, just be lagom and going lagom. And on that note, we'll see you next week. Lagom.
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 You're really good at pronouncing that.
I'm part Swedish.
Matthias will be proud of you.
Yeah.
You're not part Swedish.
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
How little?
Very. But I'm still part Swedish.
Okay.